What's up, y'all, and welcome back to the Damien After Dark Podcast. I so appreciate you guys being here, whether you're listening on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support. And especially you guys that tuned in for the season premiere of our podcast, season 4 premiere that aired last week. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you all have had an amazing weekend. They just go by so fast, right? These weekends be going by so fast. But look, if you're listening on a Monday and it's the start of your week, I'm going to get you started, okay? We're going to get into this hot topics. We're going to get into these headlines, this juicy tea, and hopefully I can make your day go by faster, your work day go by faster, whatever you're doing today, right? I'm going to help you get through the day. Um if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you hit that subscribe button right down below this video and click the thumbs up button to like this video. That helps me get into the YouTube algorithm, okay? Also, leave your comments on anything that we talk about during this episode down in the comment section below. Now, if you are listening on YouTube or Spotify, you can donate to the channel to help us sustain this podcast. On YouTube, in the description box below, will be ways that you can donate. And on Spotify, on our podcast page, you will find a place there where you'll be able to donate. Thank you guys so much for the donations, the love, the support, liking this video, sharing the podcast, all that. I really appreciate it, okay? So, we're going to get into some hot topics, some things that I wanted to talk about with you guys, and then later we'll get into our reality report and we'll discuss some of the juiciest things going on in reality TV world and talk about some of our favorite reality stars, okay? Now, this first story I wanted to talk to you guys about, it actually came out a few weeks ago, but not many people talked about it. I saw a few people talking about it, but I was curious to hear your thoughts and opinions on this because singer Lenny Kravitz, he did an interview recently, right? And in the interview, he pretty much said that he's been single for a while and he has been celibate for almost a decade, y'all. A fine ass gorgeous man like Lenny Kravitz celibate for 9 years? What? But according to him, he says that he is. Now, he opened up about his personal life in an interview with The Guardian. And in the interview, he included his decision to go naked at age 60 in his new music video. Damn, I didn't know he was 60. He's fine for 60 and got a banging body for 60. I'm gonna have to go look up that video to see his little tail naked. Now he says that he is still committed to remaining celibate until he meets the right person. It's a spiritual thing, he said. It has been 9 years since he's been in a relationship, and Kravitz credits discipline for his long years celibacy. Okay. Thought this now, Lenny. 9 years celibate from sex with a woman? Or a man? Or both? I'm just saying, Lenny. Now listen. I think it's great if he's celibate and he's waiting till he finds the right person, right? Great, great. Do what you gotta do, Lenny. But can we be real? Some people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but I've said it before. I think Lenny, you may have been celibate for 9 years from a woman, but I don't know about men. Just saying. Now look, some of y'all gonna get mad at me for that, but I think there are certain artists out here like Prince, like Lenny Kravitz, who get a pass, who get to play in hair, makeup, and heels, and do the whole 9 yards, and that's fine. Listen, I'm not one of those bigoted people who say men can't do that, but I've always just got the vibe that Lenny likes both, and it's not my business if he does. Well, it kind of is our business. He's a public figure, right? Um, but that's why when he says he's celibate, I'm like, are you celibate from women for 9 years? or men. Listen, and it's no shade, because see, some people are going to take that as an attack. He's not gay. I'm not saying he's gay, y'all. And if he was, it's not a bad thing to assume that or to say that. I do think he's bisexual. I do think he grew up in an era where he could never be himself. I do think he probably still struggles with it. I mean, have y'all seen that man walk? He struts. You gotta strut like you mean it. Free your mind. It's not enough. Just come on, Lenny. You gotta free your mind, baby. Cause I know I see right through it. I'm just listening. And that's a question for all my listeners. Could you be celibate? Would you be celibate? Could you go without sex for extended periods of time? I think I could. I choose, like, it's been a while since I've had sex. I'll just be real with y'all. I'll probably be getting some next month though. Just saying. My birthday's coming up. And I'm gonna go see my man friend in Florida, and yeah, I hope to get some then. But I've never been a sexually charged person. Like, I'm not the type that has to have sex like a few times a week or every day. Or do y'all know what I'm saying? Are y'all like that? Do you have to have sex like at least once a week or a few times a week? I'm the type, I don't have to. I can bet wham bam, thank you ma'am once a month and I'll be all right. Maybe it's different for gay people, because look, for gay people it takes work, okay? All my straights, y'all are lucky out there because y'all can just one and done it, stick the dick in the coochie hole and be done with it. When you gay, you gotta prepare because you ain't just sticking nothing in me. And I ain't just sticking nothing in you. If there's no preparation and cleanliness, if y'all catch what I'm saying. Anyway, let's move on from Lenny. Um, Young Miami from the City Girls. We didn't get to talk about this either, but I wanted to talk about it with you guys. One of my YouTube subscribers was like, when you start your podcast, Damien, can we talk more about, the female rap game and the female rap beefs and whatnot? And I said, sure. And the City Girls is one rap group that I've always enjoyed. I enjoy their music, but we know that these two ladies have split. We know that they're no longer a group. There will probably be no more City Girls music released. Their last album didn't do too well and it flopped, right? So now we know that, JT's been doing her own thing. She's been hot on the charts. Her songs have been doing really well. Young Miami was tied up in all the Diddy drama. She was busy with Diddy, flying on private jets and on yachts with him until all that went down. And the two kind of split up, and we really didn't know what happened or why and whatnot. And, now Young Miami, she spoke out recently with Complex Magazine. And she explained, she said, quote, the whole rollout for the album was bad because we was just in two different spaces. Like we older now. And JT was doing her own thing. She's on the West Coast. I'm in Miami. I'm doing my own thing. And I felt like naturally when she's doing her own thing, it just worked for her. And when I'm doing my own thing, it worked for me. But when we was together as a group, it just wasn't connecting. It just wasn't working no more. So I think we both was at a point where we was just like, we probably should just do our own shit. Which we know most groups, no group stays together forever, right? Most groups end up breaking up. Most artists end up splitting up and wanting to go solo and do their own thing. And in this situation, I think it's a good idea for them both to do their own thing and go their own separate ways. JT is doing very well as a solo artist. I think she's going to do phenomenal. I think that I'm getting all these fireworks and stuff in the video. If you guys are watching the video portion of the podcast, you'll be able to see the little fireworks in the background. But I think JT's gonna do what great as a solo artist. She's already got two songs that have like been in the top 10 on the R&B hip hop charts. Okay, and what's the other song? One of the songs is called Okay, and the other one is called I forget the other one, but they're both great songs. Now, Young Miami, on the other hand, I haven't really heard much from her. We don't hear any music from her. The only thing we hear from Young Miami is the drama that she's tied up in with Diddy. And Young Miami, I can't help but ask the question, like, is that the real reason you guys split up? Because you were so tied up with Diddy and being with him and on his yachts and private jets and at his house, posted up pictures and having him on your little talk show. You were too busy. I feel like from my perspective as a viewer, it seemed like Diddy and your talk show that you were doing, Carisha Please, all that overshadowed the City Girls, and you were worried, not really worried, but you were too busy being a socialite and an it girl, and rap took the back burner. Rap took the back seat, whereas it seems like JT has been taking rap serious. Now, some people were saying, oh, well, Young Miami held JT down when she was in prison. What more loyalty does JT want? But my thing is, yeah, of course Young Miami held her down in prison. She was supposed to. You think Young Miami was going to be able to have a solo career by herself 3 or 4 years ago and it been successful? Y'all think Young Miami would have had a successful solo career when JT was in prison? I don't think so. I think that what made them magical at the beginning and what drew us all to them was the fact that they were these two girls from Miami calling themselves the City Girls, branding themselves as the City Girls. I don't think they really would have been as successful if they would have started their careers solo. Now, yes, now I think JT will be solo, successful solo, because we know her. We've got, she's been in our homes, she's been in our cars, on our radios. We've gotten to know her. We know what to expect from JT. So I feel like it's easier for her to come into the game as a solo artist now, since we've known her from the City Girls, versus a new artist coming in trying to be solo. Does that make sense? I don't know. I see, like, not to pit these two girls against one another, but I see JT being the more successful rapper. I see JT going on to release big music. I see her collaborating with big time artists. I see her going on, world tours, being in stadiums. I think if she cultivates her career the right way and she stays on the straight and narrow and doesn't let any of the bullshit or any of the blogs or any of the talk get in her way, I think that she'll do great. Young Miami, on the other hand, I don't know. I think there's a chance for her, but she needs some rerouting. And I think her publicist and her team needs to find a way to, shift her away from this Diddy stuff and, put her back on route to something else. I don't know if that's rapping. I don't know if that's hosting. I don't know what that is, but Young Miami needs to get away from the Diddy of it all. I'm just saying, if I was her publicist and her manager, that's what I would be working on, right? Um, So let's talk about this. Have any of y'all noticed how high rent is? I don't know what city you're in, if you're listening, what town you live in, but we all know that we've noticed that the rent's just a little too goddamn high, right? Have y'all noticed that where y'all are from? I know where I'm from, I've noticed it. The rent has gone sky rocket. It's skyrocketed. Well, now, recently the FBI raided a management company. I think this was in Atlanta. Yeah, it was in Atlanta. They raided an apartment management company after they say antitrust laws may have been breached. Now, what these tenants are claiming that live at this apartment complex is that they believe they're being overcharged their rent. I got questions too, not only them. I feel like I'm being overcharged too. I feel like a lot of us are being overcharged on our rent. Now, I'm going to read this. This is from WSB TV in Atlanta. And it says Channel 2 Action News learned about a federal investigation into price fixing into the apartment rental market. The investigation led FBI agents to conduct a search at an Atlanta based apartment management company. FBI Atlanta confirmed their agents were there at the address of Cortland Management Offices in Atlanta. Cortland is a company that manages apartment complexes all over the country, including dozens in metro Atlanta. In a statement to Channel 2 Action News, Cortland said, "We can confirm that the FBI executed a limited search warrant at our Atlanta office as a part of an ongoing investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice into potential antitrust violations in the multifamily housing industry." The search later happened this week at their Buckhead office. Currently, there are no charges, and a complaint has been filed. Former prosecutor Chris Timmons explained what antitrust violations could mean. Quote, usually antitrust is some sort of anti-competitive behavior, meaning there's an allegation of price fixing in some ways, said Timmons. Someone that they've had contact with is accused of setting prices and driving the prices in the multifamily housing market artificially high. Now, the prosecutor went on to say that, quote, "We are cooperating fully," not the prosecutor, I'm sorry. The apartment management company went on to say, "We are cooperating fully with that investigation, and we understand that neither Cortland nor any of our employees are, quote unquote, targets of the investigation." Um, this is interesting because if the FBI is raiding places like this and alleging that there may be some price fixing going on. It makes you wonder, how many of us across the country are dealing with this? How many of us are dealing with illegal price gouging and price fixing and we don't know any better and we just think, oh, this is the way it is? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just have a reason to believe that a lot of other apartment realty companies, management companies, whatever you want to call them, are out there doing this. You know what I'm saying? And not even just apartment management companies. I think lots of companies could be doing this. I've always thought that my electric company did it. I'm not saying that it's happening. I'm just saying that's what I believe, allegedly. That a lot of these companies jack bills up a little bit higher than what they're supposed to be, and somebody's embezzling money on the side, and it's so wrong. It is so wrong on so many levels to take advantage of everyday working American citizens just to line these corporate CEO pockets or whoever's pockets, these people that are working in these industries and taking advantage of people. Because think about it, let's up everybody's light bill $5. Let's up everybody's rent $100. Now I get it. There's legal ways of this happening, and this does happen legally. But you also can't tell me, just like in this situation here, why is the FBI raiding this apartment management company if nothing's going on? Because one guy said that his rent had went from $1,200 to $1,700, and he couldn't understand why it went up $500. That's crazy. That's crazy. You have to, if you think about if you were staying somewhere and your rent went up $500, you'd probably have to move, right? Can you budget 500 extra dollars into your income to or your budget to pay rent? Um, it's crazy if you ask me. Absolutely crazy. Do y'all feel, I want y'all listening at home, do y'all feel like you've ever been victim to price fixing or price gouging? Has your rent ever skyrocketed up after a year? I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys had to say about that topic there. Um, so we all know the famous Latin superstar Selena, right? Who lost her life in 1995 after her, I think it was was it her agent, her manager, her publicist? I think it was either way. We know that Selena was loved by many. She was a very she was like, you know, the 90s Shakira. Is that a good way to describe it? I don't know, because see, I don't know a lot of Selena music, but we've all seen the movie Selena, right? Haven't you guys seen the movie Selena? Now, the woman who killed Selena, who worked on her team. who was in her management, who was part of her management team, she's been in prison for unaliving Selena, obviously. But that's, that 30-year prison stint wasn't enough to wanting her to get back into the entertainment industry. Because apparently she's going to be released from prison in 2025. And her name is Yolanda Saldivar. Y'all remember Yolanda? Now, what's shocking about Yolanda is that according to multiple Latin news outlets, including Hola.com, Telemundo, The Latin Times, and Desperita America, according to them, Yolanda Saldivar shared her ambitions of wanting to return to the entertainment industry in a recent interview. Now, what is her dream job, you may ask? Working as an assistant to the beloved Colombian hitmaker Shakira, whose massive career she's followed closely from behind bars. Now, while Shakira's rep while Shakira nor a rep from her camp has directly responded to the news, her fans have set social media ablaze with a mix of posts ranging from anger to fear. Okay. Um, what do y'all think about this? This bitch done lost her mind. This bitch done lost her mind. What now, Yolanda? What crack you spoken in that prison? And in what world do you live in? Do you think that Shakira's team is going to let you come work as an assistant? To be honest, you shouldn't even be getting out of prison, because if you were capable of doing that back in 1995, you mean to tell me you're not still capable of doing that today? I don't know. I just think that it's not the best decision to let this woman out. I know she was great. She was, given 30 years in prison, but she should have got a life, if you ask me. I don't know. Anytime you take somebody else's life, I think you need to go sit down for a while. Because I mean, y'all think that you're capable of doing that again? Don't you guys think that you would be capable of, unaliving someone again? Anyway, moving on. Let's see. What are we talking about next? Did any of you guys go to the movies this weekend? Apparently, Bad Boys 4 topped the box office weekend with $56 million in its opening weekend. Anybody go watch Bad Boys? Um, Believe it or not, I've never seen any of the Bad Boys movies, but I know that they're popular. I know people love them. I've never been a big movie watcher. I'm more of a reality TV guy, but I saw an interview recently with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith promoting this movie, and Martin didn't look too good. I don't know. I'm worried for Martin's health. He just looked like he wasn't feeling his best. He didn't sound his best. He looks like he's aged really bad. I'm not aged bad, but it looks like age is affecting him. I don't know. I didn't think Martin was that old. But then again, maybe he could be battling an illness or something that we don't know about, and he's just not being open about it. Maybe he is. I don't know. I hope he's not sick. I don't think he would be for him to have just filmed a movie like Bad Boys, because isn't that's an action-packed movie, right? That's not just some regular old Tubi movie. That's some stunts and stuff that has to be done. So I don't know. I don't know. All right. So we're gonna get into all of our favorite reality TV drama and what our favorite reality TV stars have been up to with a segment I like to call the Reality Report. Hit it. All right. So Let's talk about what's going on down in the Peach State with our Georgia Peaches. And I'm talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta because we know that the Real Housewives of Atlanta went on a hiatus. They were trying to figure the cast out because they felt like the show needed a shakeup. They finally got their cast figured out. You know, Kenya returning, Portia returning. Portia's friend Shamia is a full-time housewife. And Drew Sidora is also back as a full-time housewife with two new housewives, Brittney Eady and Kelly Farrell, joining the cast as well as Cynthia Bailey coming in as a friend of. Now, the new season just started filming a few weeks ago, and needless to say, it's been hot. It's been spicy. There's been a lot going on already, especially revolving new girl Brittney Eady. Okay, now let me show you guys what Brittney Eady looks like, just so you guys know, because I know she's a new housewife. This is for anybody that's watching on YouTube or that's watching on Spotify, so you guys can see um what Miss Brittney Eady looks like. Okay, so we're on her Instagram page here. This is Miss Brittney Eady. She is one of the newest housewives on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, Miss Brittney has kept the block hot lately, and her and Miss Kenya Moore have apparently got the streets talking. Okay, so we all know Kenya, and apparently Kenya held the grand opening for her Kenya Moore hair spa this past week. And at the opening of this hair spa, Kenya allegedly showed a picture of Brittney, this woman right here. Wait, which way are we going? Over here. This woman right here. Kenya showed a picture of her performing oral sex at the opening of Kenya's hair spa opening. Okay, that is what is allegedly happening. All right, I'm gonna read you guys the article from page 6 on what allegedly went down, okay? And then we're going to talk about what Kenya has to say and what Brittney has to say. Now it says page 6 can confirm that Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kenya Moore shocked party attendees at her Kenya Moore hair spa Thursday night with posters of series newcomer Brittney Eady allegedly performing oral sex. We're told Bravo cameras were rolling at the cast event where Moore, 53, decided to unveil the explicit images. The recipient of the alleged sexual act remains unclear. So they're saying the person that she's performing oral sex on, Brittney, they're saying they don't know who the person she was performing oral sex on. That remains unclear, okay? Now, there were rumors that Brittney was there and threatened to pull out a gun and all that, but that was not true. That did not happen. There was never a gun or anything like that that was brandished. Now, Kenya has came forward and said that that's not true. She would never release revenge corn on anybody. However, other people that were there say otherwise. They say that this did indeed happen, which I think if it did, it's going to make for a very interesting season. But the only thing for me is I can't see a producer allowing this to happen. For some reason, I feel like, when it comes to filming these shows, there's a whole legal department. There's a whole legal department to make sure that there are no copyrighted images that are in a scene, that there are no, anybody in a background that doesn't want their face shown, that hasn't consented to have their face shown. There's a whole legal department to make sure that revenge corn isn't shown. I just don't see the network allowing something like this to play out. Now it does make for good clickbait and headlines, and to stir up interest in the new season, because it does seem like that they are stirring up interest to get people watching for this upcoming season. Um Now, there was an audio that leaked from that night, and you can hear in the audio where Kenya says Brittney does escort. She charges $1,400. Oh, you're a cheap hoe. Yo Gotti was like, Snapchat me that pussy, and you did. So something definitely went down at Kenya Moore's hair spa event regarding Brittney Eady and her being an alleged call girl and her being an alleged prostitute and all that. So I don't know. It's going to make for a very interesting storyline coming into the new season. But the only thing is, y'all don't keep nothing a secret no more. All the storylines and everything on these shows always get leaked before the show even airs. And it's like we know what the whole season's about before it even comes on. I miss the old days of reality TV where you had to wait for a new season to drop. And Kenya, if you did do this, sis, this is not a good look, my love. First of all, you're 53. Why would you be out here in these streets at a grown woman age like that, blackmailing or allegedly blackmailing or allegedly showing revenge porn? And at the opening of your hair spa, I feel like you doing this at the opening of your hair spa, if you did do it, Kenya. Because part of me believes that it happened, part of me believes that it didn't, because I don't think production would allow it. But if this did happen, why would you do it at the opening of your business? I feel like that takes away from your success. That takes away from your business and everything that you worked hard for. And now you're making it about Brittney. I get you're making a TV show, but why do it at the expense of your business? So, I don't know. Okay. I do not know. Now, speaking of housewives, since we're in our reality report, we're going to go up north from Atlanta and we're going to go up to Potomac, the Real Housewives of Potomac. It's no secret that Giselle Bryant from the Real Housewives of Potomac and Dr. Wendy Osefo have never been friends. They were friends at one point. But we know the last few seasons they haven't liked each other. They've not liked each other at all. And to the point to where the women wouldn't even speak to each other when they came into the same room. Well, Bravo has recently been filming the new season of Potomac, and I think hell has frozen over because we see a scene. I'm gonna show you guys this video from a recent filming where they were filming Real Housewives of Potomac. As you can see here, hell has frozen over. We see Wendy walking over to Giselle and they hug. Oh my gosh. There it is again. She walks over to Giselle. She says something. They embrace and they hug. This is an event that Wendy is having. It looks like it's an event in the backyard of her house. Or I don't know if it's the backyard of her house or I don't know where it's at. But it's obviously an event that Wendy is hosting. Giselle has shown up for it. They're embracing, they're hugging, and it's good to see the two ladies moving past their differences after all this time because let's face it, it's been hard to watch the last few seasons of Potomac with all of this divide and all of this divisiveness. This girl's not speaking to this girl won't film with this girl. And I think the producers came to Wendy and Giselle and said, look, we're tired of watching you guys feud. We're tired of seeing the tension and the hatred between you two. Either you two get along, find a way to mend fences, or somebody's got to go. I think there had to be an ultimatum because the show had gotten so toxic like Jersey. Y'all know what I'm saying? The show had gotten so toxic, almost like the Real Housewives of New Jersey, to where when these women can't even be in the same room together, when they can't even film together, what's the purpose? What's the purpose? And that's how it had gotten. Giselle wouldn't speak to Wendy. Wendy wouldn't speak to Giselle. Same with Candace. Candace is no longer going to be on the show. I think they had to make ultimatums and get rid of certain people. Because look, if Candace would have returned, her and Giselle would have never talked. Things went too far. I'm surprised Wendy and Giselle are talking, but I'm glad that they can, squash this and put it aside for the sake of their jobs. Come on now. Y'all are making great money. Don't fuck it up over some stupid beef. Um, let's see what else we got on the agenda on the docket tonight. One more story here. Married to Medicine's Miss Quad, Miss Quad, Miss Quad. She got it, she got it. And she definitely got it this time, okay? Because we all know Quad from Married to Medicine. She was once married to Dr. Gregory Lunsford, who is a psychiatrist, psychologist, one of the two. Something like a therapist, right? Sorry to offend anybody that's in that profession. I just don't know the difference. So I'm just going to say he was a therapist. We know Quad was married to a therapist on the show, Dr. Gregory Lunsford. They divorced 3, 4, 5 years ago after they had a very toxic and tumultuous and abusive relationship that they were in between each other. And Quad has been single ever since, right? We've not seen her with no man at all. But Dr. Greg, we see him back on the show with his new wife, Sweet Tea. Letitia is her name. He's moved on, he's got married, and I think all of us that watch Married to Medicine that were fans, I don't know about you, but I've always hoped for Quad to find her a nice looking, successful man that could sweep her off her feet and give her everything that she wants. Well, lo and behold, I think she's found it. Okay, let's take a look at Miss Quad. She posted a picture of this new man in her life. Okay, this is her Instagram page. She posted this picture about 12 hours ago today, and the caption is $1 million baby. Okay, Miss Quad, come through. It's giving fine. It's giving tall glass of chocolate milk. It's giving tens across the board. It's giving daddy. It's given big feet. It's given big credit score. It's given buyer, not a renter. Okay, can I get an amen? Ooh, can I get an amen? I'm here for it, Quad. Congratulations, boo. Because you deserve all the love. After everything you went through with Dr. Greg, after everything you went through on Married to Medicine, boo, I hope that this man gives you everything that you ever asked for. He's fine. Ooh, look at him kissing right there. Okay, Quad, come through. And see, she didn't rush into nothing after her relationship with Dr. Greg. She waited. She fell in love with herself. She I'm just so happy for Quad. 'Cause I've always loved me some Quad. You deserve this, Quad. And my question, Quad, is are we gonna see you and this mystery man on the TV screen? Because we know part of Quad's job is to share her personal life. But I would be afraid, if I was a reality star, I'd be so afraid to share my relationship with the public and put it on TV because there's always some thirsty thought pocket or somebody trying to tear your relationship apart, plant rumors, tell lies, or whatever. Sometimes truth. I don't know. But Quad, I think you got quite the decision to make. Is your man going to be on the show? Does he want to be on the show? We know that just let's say he doesn't want to be on the show. That means Quad's job is in jeopardy. However, I do think this event that they are at was filmed. This is called the Med Gala. Y'all know the Met Gala. This is the Med Gala. MED. Not MET, but the Med Gala for all the medical, all those in the medical field. And I wonder, is he a doctor, Quad? Is her man a doctor? I got so many questions. I can't wait for the new season to play out. I hope she gives it to us all. I hope she shows us the man. I hope we see him kissing. I hope we see him in love. I'm so happy for you, Quad. Yes. Miss Quad, she got it, she got it. And now, when Quad used to say, Miss Quad, she got it, she got it. Now I know what she meant. She got it, because that's a fine. See, that that's my idea of a man right there. Give me him. Does he got a brother? Quad, call me, sis. Does he got a gay brother? That's a doctor too? Because them feet look real big. And that's just what I like. Mm, let me shut up. Let me upgrade you. Can I upgrade you? Now Dr. Greg was fine too. Don't get me wrong. Now he wasn't fine, but he's glowed up. I don't want to say fine. He's cute. He's really glowed up since he was with Quad. Now that he's grown that gray beard in, Dr. Gregory's cute, right? He's cute. But this man right here, baby, I would sit on it. I would spin on it. I would turn sideways on it. I would do reverse cowgirl on it. I would eat his booty. Let me be quiet. I'm being nasty. That's just too much, Damien. You doing too much, Damien. That's my Gemini in me. That's the Gemini in me that's coming out. That's my evil twin in me that's coming out. I'm sorry, y'all. It's Gemini season. My birthday is next week. Shout out to your boy, June 17th, Gemini baby. I'll be 31 years old. Cash out your boy, $ Damien Gentry. Um, yeah. Congratulations to you, Quad. Anyways, that is it for our episode today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Damien After Dark. I hope you all enjoyed all of our juicy hot topics and the headlines and what's going on in the news. I hope you come back next week to hang out with us, and I hope that this podcast has been an outlet for you. I hope it's the time that you can set aside during the day to just disconnect and just you feel like you're hanging out with your friend and talking shit with one of your friends. That's what I wanted this podcast to be. Feel like you were hanging out, talking with one of your friends, boo. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe and like this video if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, leave us a 5-star review, please. I would so, so, so love that. And add us to your library, okay? Add us to your podcast library so you never miss an episode. And don't forget the 5-star review, okay? Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode. We'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. See you guys.